Hi, this is ICC Chess Videos, and I'm National Master Dan Heisman. My handle on the ICC is Philly Tutor, and I'm here today to go over what I consider the single most important aspect on a chessboard, and that's the area of safety, with specificity of counting. We're going to talk today about what safety is on a chessboard and what counting is. There's many aspects of the chessboard that you have to know: safety, activity, pawn structure, different things that will help you evaluate a position. Of all those things, by far the most important is safety. I notice when people start playing chess, they often underestimate safety. For instance, they'll give away pawns for free, and they'll concentrate on areas of strategy. But actually, it's quite the other way around. Safety is the most important thing in chess, and everything else is quite subordinate to it. Let's define safety as when a piece is on a board, there can be no exchanges such that that piece would be lost for something worth less. Okay, so safety means that you're not giving up material. So that's from a defensive standpoint. From an offensive standpoint, it's when you win material from your opponent. The easiest way to win material, of course, is to just take it off for free. When someone leaves something for free in chess, we call that en prix. Now, the single most common way that people can lose material is not the basic tactics that you read in basic tactics books. For instance, double attacks, removal of the guard, forks, things like that. It's actually something that I call counting. This is perhaps my single most important discovery in being a professional chess teacher, is that most beginners, in fact all beginners, and even many intermediate players often lose material due to what I call counting. Let me define counting. Counting is simply the ability to see whether or not any possible sequence of exchanges on a given square can lose material. All right, let me say that again. Counting is simply the ability to see whether any possible sequence of exchanges on a given square can lose material. Now, during a chess game, it's very possible that multiple squares can be involved, because any square where exchanges can take place would involve counting. Today, in order to start out our video sequence on counting and safety, I'm just going to concentrate on what I would consider one square counting, which is determining whether or not a given sequence of exchanges on one square can win material. Now, a lot of people think that this is a lot easier subject than it is. In fact, when I tell people about counting, very often their misconception is that counting is simply knowing the value of the pieces. Well, knowing the value of the pieces is a very important part of counting, but it's an important part, but it's actually only a small part. The most important part of counting is your ability to analyze and deduce which sequences might be dangerous, and to figure out whether or not material is in fact being lost. And that is much harder than just knowing the value of the pieces. For today, we will use Larry Kaufman's value of the pieces. International Master Larry Kaufman is the world's leading expert on piece value. He actually came up with a method and studied 80 million positions to become the first person to scientifically determine the value of the pieces. So we're going to use Larry's value of the pieces. Let's put them on the board for a second and just give their value, and then we'll erase them back off. Of course, a pawn is worth one pawn. A lot of people use the number 1 with the unit points when they do